Yeah. The governor has 25 million in the program now, but we're waiting for him to put together his program as to exactly how he's going to do some of these problems. So that may be one of the questions that he'll have to answer.
Now, is this just in one jail, or is this in all the jails, or just a couple jails? How many jails are we talking? Which jails?
It's up to the department to make the decisions.
Which department? State Department of Corrections, City Department of Corrections?
The corrections department.
Okay. Which corrections department? State corrections?
State corrections
State
department.
corrections. So it'll be in state
Yes.
jails.
Yes.
And you know if these videos are foilable?
If they're what?
Foilable.
Foilable. What's foilable?
Freedom of Information Law.
Oh. The governor will have to make those decisions, and they're not been made yet.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
all right, let's move off them. We'll save them for when the governor's proposal comes out, because I know that'll be inadequate. Now, we go to raise the age, criminal responsibility. And right here, we shift, establishes a youth part in the adult criminal court, wherein juvenile offenders will be processed, right? Now, in order to take a case from criminal court to family court, right, it's usually with the consent of the DA. Now, here, it's the court that makes the decision.
Right.
So they take the DA out of the equation? Is that what we're doing here?
Yes. In some cases, yes.
Well, the way it's written, it's the court that decides if it should be switched to family court. The DA has no say, correct?
Yeah, what's that here? The Assembly bill requires the court to consider the recommendations of the DA, but doesn't give the DA a veto. The judge is a neutral arbiter who can hear arguments from both the DA and the defendant, while also considering the factors set forth in statute, and make a fair and reasonable decision based on all of the information available in individual circumstances.
Okay, so we don't need consent of the DA for that anymore.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing we're going to do is we can seal, they're going to seal past records here, and but not, I think, up to 2 eligible offenses, but not more than 1 felony. They could seal those records, and they could do that retroactively, okay? Can you tell me what felonies they're allowed to seal? How, A felonies, B felonies, C felonies?
But this proposed sealing provisions, this proposal allows a person with 2 prior convictions for certain nonviolent offenses to have these convictions sealed after a waiting period has passed. It also allows the district attorney or the defendant to request a hearing. If the person receiving the sealing is arrested for any crime within 10 years following the completion of their sentence, their sealed offense will be unsealed.
All right, but which felonies are we talking about? Are they A felonies? Are they B felonies? Are they C felonies? Are they violent felonies? Are they sex crimes? Right? Are they A, B, C felonies?
These are all nonviolent folks.
They're all nonviolent?
Yes, nonviolent.
Okay. But do they include A felonies?
Say that again.
A felonies.
Yes.
We designate A felony, B felony.
Yeah,
C
yeah, it
felony?
could be an A, yeah.
Do they include A felonies?
They can do that.
Okay. And now we expand existing youthful offender law to allow persons up to 20 years of age to be given youthful offender status in this legislation. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And then we're raising the age now. And if a person, correct me if I'm wrong,
You're
requires all juvenile offenders committed to OCFS for committing a crime prior to their 16th birthday, they're going to be put in a youth facility, right, under this?
Yes,
And they stay in that youth facility till they're 23?
up to 23, yes.
So we're going to put
23.
22 and 364 days in with 13, 14, 15, and 16-year-olds?
Yeah, when you put it that way, you know, but yes.
Okay. And now we have a facility, we're closing facilities, but now we're going to open facilities,
Yeah.
okay, for youthful, for youths that are incarcerated, right?
Yes.
And how many facilities are we going to open?
We're not opening anything. Yeah, we're not going to open anything up. We're going to be using ones that are open now.
Okay.
We're not opening.
And are we putting female offenders and male offenders in the same institutions?
No,
They'll be in separate institutions?
yes.
There's your answer to that one. Okay. Oh, and in this legislation, and tell me if I'm reading this wrong, but if a child brings a gun to school and he's under 18, he can't be charged as an adult?
If you mean he charged having the pistol because he could shoot somebody, he'll be charged.
Well, he can, according to this legislation, would raise the age. If a child, 17 years, 365 days old,
Yeah.
brings a loaded pistol to school, right, he would go to family court, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And he couldn't be charged as an adult here.
that's right. Hold on just a minute.
Bring it to us.
Yeah, well, again, you're just talking about him having the gun, period. The minute he does something with the gun, then there's a different program and there are different answers.
Yeah, but he can bring a
But
load.
if he just has the gun and you pick him up with the gun, then that's okay.
Okay, that's okay?
Yeah, no, it's not okay. The NRA will immediately call me and then put me in if I said that.
Okay. Danny, thank you very much.
Sure.
Mr. McDonough.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would Mr. Farrell yield?
Yes, Mr. McDonough, pleasure.
Thank you, Denny, and I got good news for you. I've got one or two questions, and then you can sit down, just like well, you can't sit yet. So
I think it's easier standing.
I'll tell you what I was concerned about. First of all, overall, the level of the MTA funding versus DOT funding, there's no parity there. And our highways and bridges and stuff like that are in worse shape than they could be, even after the storms and all of that. Now, I noticed that what they've done with the CHIPS program is they've taken, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the $50 million winter recovery plan, they've canceled that and put it back into the CHIPS fund, which really, CHIPS is coming out with the same amount of money that they did last year, if you take out the $50 million. You follow me? Well, I didn't follow myself. So
Yeah, we put back $50 million. The governor took out $50 million. We put it back, and it's for the next 4 years.
Right, okay. I guess I was trying to say it a little differently. The CHIPS program was 388 plus 50 for winter recovery last time around. Now, that added up, well, you've been told some news there. That added up to $438 million, I believe. And, go ahead. And then what they did was they stopped the winter recovery plan of $50 million, and they're putting that back into the CHIPS program, so they're still getting $438 million.
Yeah.
I got confused.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, it was
We're giving straight CHIPS money,
it was
no
438.
restriction on it.
It was 438. I'm sorry. plus 50 for winter recovery, which makes it 488.
Yeah, but we're giving them 50,
Right.
not winter, anything.
Now they've taken the winter, there's no increase is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The total of 488 is still 488.
yes,
There's no increase, and yet the increase in the need for highways and bridges improvement is there, but no increase in the funding,
Yeah.
just by combining the two.
yeah, see, the governor didn't give us 50 million, we put that in.
Well, then,
In other words, that's what we put in, so it's equal, it's where it was,
okay, I guess what I'm championing is we need more
yes.
for highways and bridges. And I know that one of my colleagues spoke to you about the infrastructure there before.
Yeah,
That's one of two questions, so only one more, right?
one more, yes.
What are we doing here? That's the question, right? The 310 million for the Thruway Authority, which is a reduction from the governor's proposal, do you have any anticipation this could cause a toll increase?
We have no idea of what's going on.
Okay. That's enough, right?
Well, you want to hear, here's the things we're doing right now. For the Assembly, the total ads, we put in $405 million, and we put in aviation from that money, aviation money of 55, for money for those airports you got up there, $55 million there, 100 million for rail work, and also 250 million for non-MTA transit. This is for the upstate. Executive, the CHIPS program is 200 in the
Aviation.
aviation, thank you, Asian competition of 200. We took that out.
Okay.
We took it upstairs, both. Okay,
Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much.
thank
Kenny.
you.
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Speaker, would Chairman Farrell yield?
Yes, Mr. Murray.
Chairman yields.
Thank you, Denny. Just a few questions on the higher education aspect, and in particular the DREAM Act and DREAM Fund. Does this proposal include both the DREAM Act and the DREAM Fund?
Yes.
Okay. Could you explain, because I get a lot of questions sometimes, what's the difference between the two? Could you explain the difference between DREAM Act and DREAM Fund?
I can't understand what it's... Yeah. 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 You're right. Okay, so there's two. Yeah. One is money, general money, and the other one is people. People giving money. So it's two programs, but it's double the money.
So the first one, the one with the money, that would, so let's go with the DREAM Act. That's
Yeah.
the one that uses tax
Yeah.
dollars, correct? And how much will that cost, that portion cost?
27 million.
27 million. And how is that dispersed or funded?
For any kids who are eligible to get TAP, we can use it there.
So it's the TAP program, and the
Yeah.
TAP program is funded with tax dollars, correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, is there anything in this budget, speaking of TAP, is there anything in this budget that would raise the threshold for the eligibility for TAP so we can help more of the New York State residents afford a college education?
We did not reach but we gave more TAP. In other words, we raised it up. Yeah, we raised it $100.
Yeah, we raised that, yes, the maximum TAP award was raised by
Yeah,
$100.
we did that.
And that's a good first step there. But as far as the threshold for eligibility,
Yeah.
which has not been changed since I believe it was the year 2000, still stands at 80,000 as the threshold. Did we
That's
do
correct.
anything to increase that threshold?
No, not yet.
Okay. Is there anything in the budget or this proposal to create a tax exemption or a tax credit for student loan interest to help them, again, offset the high cost of college?
We have any credits? Got a haircut. I didn't recognize you. You're young. No.
Okay, so as far as helping the kids that need the help in getting a college education,
We
the
haven't
extent-
done, we've done a lot, but we didn't do that.
the extent of what we did, we increased the TAP award by $100, which again is a good first
Yes,
step.
good move, yes.
Okay. Moving to the Dream Fund. Now, the Dream Fund does not rely on tax dollars, correct? It's
Right.
private funds.
Yes,
Okay. So who is eligible? It's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Dream Fund will award scholarships, and it's privately funded,
Yeah.
and they'll award scholarships to students. Who would be eligible for a scholarship through the Dream Fund?
anybody, any child that has one family person who's an immigrant, they would be eligible.
Legal or illegal?
We don't
Immigrant?
know, we never asked that question.
Somewhere in the
question isn't
wording,
there.
I'm going to guess it says it. So would it be?
Nowhere on the paper does it say, did you sneak in last night? No,
So,
doesn't have that.
so just immigrant in general, which I would imagine.
Anybody who has gone through our public school system and has reached college requirement, we accept them, and we don't ask anything else other than the fact of what they're doing and what they need, the questions that are required to get TAP aid.
So if I'm understanding correctly, based on your answer, then pretty much anyone's children would, because we're all pretty much.
Any
Immigrant.
child, anybody that's going into our schools are going to be eligible to get this help because they're going to be out there working, they're going to get jobs, and they're going to do what everybody else does, become good Americans. So we're not going to ask that question. We're assuming they are all Americans.
But that's through
They
the
have
Dream.
things in their hair, so
We're still talking about the Dream Fund, correct?
Yes.
For scholarships.
yes.
So pretty much anybody. There's no limitations. I just want to make sure I
What sort of
understand.
limitation? What sort of limitation?
As to who can get the scholarship, there are certain
Yes,
scholarships.
we said, this money is for people who have one immigrant parent. That means they could have a father who came in and a mother who lived here in America. You can't tell what it is, or reverse.
So, okay, so legality plays no role.
Oh, sorry, what?
Legality of the.
No, it is totally legal.
I'm sorry.
No, it is totally legal. No one is found not legal. Because if they're illegal, we won't allow them here. But we're not talking about that. In other words, if they got into trouble and did something wrong, that's a different question. And we have laws on that.
No, I was just, as far as the immigration status of
That
the
it-
parents, legality plays no
we
role.
don't discuss immigration.
I'm sorry.
Immigration is not part of the program.
It's not part of the
and
Dream
it should
Fund.
not be.
Okay, well,
All right?
Chairman Farrell, thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. That'll be in the papers.
Mr. Lupinacci.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the chairman yield for a few
Will you
questions?
yield, Mr. Farrell?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Farrell yields.
Just following up on some higher education questions. First one has to do with the CUNY shift. And I know there was a call from the governor's proposal to shift 30% of the cost to CUNY or to the city of New York for 30% of the CUNY senior college expenses. Now, do you think, and I know that the Assembly One House rejects this, do you think at one point that this is a movement towards, because I think when it was first started, the CUNY system was funded, at least 1/3 by the city of New York. Do you think this is pushing towards combining at some point the CUNY and SUNY systems and only have one state-supported statewide university system?
I don't think that will ever happen.
So you think those, just the funding, more of the funding will be picked up from the state of New York rather than the city pitching in more of its part in terms of the CUNY system?
Yeah. Yeah, we've always taken it. Yeah. Yeah. There are two separate sets of schools. They'll stay the same. We have SUNY programs in our city, in New York City, and they're part of SUNY. So I don't think there's a reason to put them together.
Okay. And we were just wondering from a funding perspective. Now, I know also that according to the One House, that SUNY and CUNY wanted reauthorization to increase their tuition across the state in the individual campuses. And the One House budget does reject the rational tuition. And I know it's something that SUNY and CUNY requested. Now, right now, it looks like funding for the tuition to stay flat for the next 2 years is coming from settlement monies. Is this going to continue, you think, and what happens once the settlement money runs out? Where will the money come to help subsidize the tuition increase that they were requesting?
Usually we have 2 years. We're in. Right. We did a 2-year freeze so that we know in advance where we're going to try to help. Because we had done the 5-year plan, I think, when we finished it, and we're going to go 2 years, and then we'll go next year, we'll look and see what the future will be.
So in other words, you'll go in a 2-year plot right now for the next
Yeah,
couple of years?
we set it up for a 2-year vacancy.
Right. Now, according, because I know also going on with further higher ed questions, I know the DREAM Act has been part of the One House budget for several years. In comparison to last year's amount that was set aside, do we have new numbers in terms of if the DREAM Act was going to be implemented, how many students it would affect, and how much money it would cost, and whether or not that's been different from the numbers that we've seen in previous budgets?
Well, we do it, we've done 27 years, 27 million for a couple of years now. We keep doing it, and it seems to work, so that number is working.
Okay, very good. And that's all. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
I don't know if I'm getting,
Mr. Palmisano.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Mr. Farrell, yield for a few questions.
Yes, I'd be glad.
Chairman yields.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. First, quick question. Last year in the budget, we provided regarding the property tax cap, we provided some relief to on the BOCES capital and also for the pilot agreements. And part of that agreement was that the Tax and Finance was going to address that issue. I don't think anything's happened with that yet. Is there anything in your budget? Because I know, given the fact that school districts are facing a 0.12% property tax cap, in some instances a negative property tax cap, this would kind of be helpful. Is there anything in your budget would help alleviate that for our school districts or municipalities?
Let me do one. For your first answer, we've been talking to the tax people, and we're looking to see what happened, how did it work last year. When we get a report, we'll deal with that later down the line. Second question. And by putting in that 2.1 increase, it guarantees that everybody, if this one goes through, everybody will get more than they got last year.
Just going back to the point you said you were going to check back with Tax and Finance to see how it works. Because my understanding, this hasn't even been implemented by Tax and Finance yet. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
By the way, don't ask me about last year.
Well, it just kind of just spins to this
No,
year.
it
That's
doesn't.
all.
We're not required to know that.
In your one house budget, is there anything, because we had previously at one point, relative to the issue of organ donation, created a partnership with a organization that's going to be in charge of the registry now, working through the Department of Health. And part of their charge is to go out and get more people to put a plan in place to get more people to sign up to become organ donors, given the statistics that we all know in New York are really abysmal. Was there any funding in your one house budget that would address the issue of helping to develop this issue, to help develop organ donation promotion, awareness education with this group, to get that awareness out so we can improve our organ donation numbers in New York State on the registry?
We accepted the governor's program, and we didn't change it.
So there's nothing added above what the governor
No, we went with
basically
them on
did or
this one.
didn't do in his budget, which is not much. Okay. Real quick on the, and I don't want to belabor the point on the transportation infrastructure, because I know in your White House budget you put $50 million in chips, and it's my understanding that's 200 over 4 years, but it's just basically going to keep that level of chips at 488
Right.
over the next 4 years flat. I mean, 488 for the next 4 years. With Bridge New York and Pave New York, the governor proposed $1 billion for each of those programs. My understanding, you took that out of the budget proposal,
No.
or is that in the budget proposal?
Yeah. Oh, it was a competition. Yeah, we don't like this competition of fixing it, so we took that out. We didn't take the money out. We even put some more in.
All right. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's the money. I mean, it's a competition that we had troubles with.
Oh, okay. I hear you. And just regarding the parity issue, and I know you hear a lot about parity, and prior to 2010, whenever we did the MTA budget, the DOT state capital plan had always been funded at equal levels. I know the governor's proposed budget didn't do that this year. I think you didn't add any, and they said nothing was added on your side relative to the DOT state capital plan.
No.
Okay. I did want to talk on the issue of the minimum wage. I know a number of my colleagues brought up the issue of the minimum wage, and I think you said in your White House budget you added $200 million to help with was it for the Medicaid reimbursements for the first year? Is that for all providers, or is that just for hospitals, nursing homes, and home care providers?
If anything,
I'm looking at specifically at the area of the not-for-profits and the developmentally disabled in particular.
anybody that uses Medicaid, any program that uses Medicaid, yes.
So you're projecting $200 million for that for this year?
Yes, so it's all the programs that have workers. And as I said, though, because the numbers, as it goes out, the amount of money now is different than what it'll be later.
Okay. What about for the minimum wage poll? Is anything in there for a tipped worker minimum wage increase? I know we just had an increase by the wage board in conjunction with the labor commissioner earlier in the year to increase the tipped worker wage by 50%. Does your proposal increase the tipped worker wage at all either?